Welcome to all the devotees to our weekly Bhagavatam study. In the last few weeks, we have been discussing about the duties and the responsibilities of the four Varnas and four Ashramas. In the 11th chapter, we saw how Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra they conduct themselves, what are their roles in the society, what are their responsibilities, what are the activities they do for their spiritual progress, and what are the activities that they do for their day-to-day survival. Bhagavatam calls it as Jivika. For daily maintenance, what are the different activities they do? For spiritual progress, what are the different activities they do? About the people in the four Varnas, as well as the ladies, and also during emergency, what are the duties they can do? So these are all discussed in 11th chapter. And then 12th chapter talks about the duties of a brahmachari while living in the ashram of a guru, and then the duties of a vanaprastha, whether one has become directly from brahmacharya or one has become vanaprasthi after sufficiently staying in the guru's ashram. But they have some specific duties in order to detach from this material world. They need to follow strict tapasya, severe austerities, what they are supposed to eat, where they are supposed to stay, how they are supposed to sleep, etc. etc. They are all mentioned. So they are recommended to do this Vanaprastha tapasya for 12 years, 8 years, 6 years, 4 years, 2 years, at least 1 year they should do. Whatever the sadhana has been mentioned, they should do at least for 1 year. Minimum 1 year, maximum 12 years. If somebody already vowed to do 12 years but are not able to do for 12 years, after completing 3-4 years, their health deteriorated, they are not able to do anything, then it is recommended that with whatever desire they had in their mind, contemplating upon the desire, they should fast until death. They should simply lie down, not moving here and there, without identifying themselves with the body. They should do a sankalpa mentally that I have been given the 24 elements with which I have been performing all the activities till today. Now these 24 elements, I'll give them back to their respective sources. So none of these elements are mine. They don't belong to me anymore. That means the body in which I am staying, it does not belongs to me. It belongs to the original sources of these 24 elements. So making that sankalpa, simply lie down on the bare floor and wait until death. Only one thing one is allowed to do is breathing. One should not see, one should not hear, one should not speak, one should not move, one should not get up, one should not walk, one should not eat, one should not sleep also. Just lie down, meditating on the absolute truth and just breathe until one dies. Then one attains the destination. Either if one is aspiring to get liberation, one will get liberation. If one is aspiring to go to some any upper planets, they can go to upper planets. So that is recommended for a Vanaprasthi. If a Vanaprastha who could successfully complete the prescribed number of years of the vow, either 1 year, they have taken vow for 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, still their health is good. If they are desirous of taking on to sannyasa, they should take to sannyasa and do as it is mentioned in chapter 13. Chapter 13 is all talks about sannyasi. How a sannyasi should cultivate or practice or conduct himself while living in this world with a desire to attain liberation. So sannyasi should not stay at any place more than a day. They should be continuously traveling. They should not make disciples. They should not accumulate money. They should not possess any belongings. They should only have kaupin, outer garment, upper garment, kamandalu, danda. That's all. Nothing more than that. A begging bowl. They should maintain themselves by begging maybe 1 or 2 houses every day. They should only eat one meal a day. They should not keep eating morning, afternoon, evening, night, like that. Only one meal just to maintain the body and soul together. They should be continuously traveling. They should not make disciples. They should not read so many books. They should not give so many pravachans to show their knowledge. If it is meant for preaching, they can do, but just to increase their name and fame in this material world as a great scholar, learned person, they should not do. For that purpose, they should not read so many books, they should not engage in so many debates. The worldly people, they will be engaging in so many debates, but sannyasi should not engage in debates. So like that, madam, just to show that I am great learned people. So with that intention, one should never ever enter into debates, etc., etc. All these things are mentioned in the previous section. And then, having stated that, now, in order to understand how a sannyasi should live, what is the best way to live in this world, to help us understand that, there is a story narrated. Once Prahlad Maharaj was going on hunting excursion. On the way, he happened to see a person who externally appears to be like a lame, dumb, mad, insane, inattentive, like everything, whatever you can say. Is everything. Mooda, Jada, Unmatta, Apramatta. So like that. Pramatta. So people always consider him to be a mad person. They would throw him at throw at him as stones and hurl abusive words. All these things they would do. But Prahlad Maharaj did not make that mistake. He understood. Externally, this person looks to be like a mad person, but actually, is a spiritually enlightened person. So Prahlad Maharaj goes and makes a simple inquiry. So, my dear sir, normally those people who perform austerity, they are supposed to be skinny. But and people of this world, they work hard to enjoy, and when they enjoy, they become fat. That is normally understood. And you seem to be practicing austerities and not performing any activities for your enjoyment, and you are seems to be indifferent to enjoyment, but still you are fat. What was the reason for your fattiness? Like that, yes. Till now, this person who is like Jadavat, he never spoke to anybody. Many people asked many things. They inquired him, who are you, from where you came, where are you going, what are you doing here, why are you lying down like this? He is following the process called as Ayachita Vritti, without begging. If something comes on its own, he would eat. Otherwise, he would fast. So he is not at all interested in he is not at all interested in earning anything for his food or for his survival, anything. No, he is simply isn't interested in anything. He is simply lying down like a python. If something comes too close to his mouth, he will eat. Otherwise, he will not. So, so why are you leading such kind of lifestyle? So that is the inquiry purpose behind it. So he speaks so many things very interestingly. He says, have been traveling the entire world, have seen that the people in this world, especially the married people, the grosas, they come together, they marry, and they work for the purpose of mitigating their current misery and getting happiness. But have not seen anybody in this world who attained or who mitigated their current misery and attained happiness. So as a result of that, I have given up the desire to perform any activities. So I'm simply lying down here like a retarded person. So Prahlad Maharaj might say that, no, no, how can you say that there is no happiness? People are happy, that's why they're able to perform all the activities, all these things are there. Then the sage says, my dear friend, I'm not talking about the temporary happiness. Yes, this material world, the world of duality offers some happiness. A flickering happiness is there. And that's why people are working hard. But I am not interested in the temporary happiness. I am interested in eternal happiness. The eternal happiness comes only when you realize that you are soul. When you identify yourself with the body and perform activities for the pleasure of the body, the pleasures of the body are short living. They are not long lasting. However, when a person realizes that I am Atma, have nothing to do with the material body, have nothing to do with the world around me, then that person really experiences the real happiness, that of Atma and Paramatma. So I have given up my attachment to my body, attachment to this world, As a result of that, I am able to identify myself with Atma, and I am able to experience Atmananda, the intense joy. Because I am happy, I am fat. As you said, a happy person becomes fat. Because I am really happy, I am fat. Like that, our Avaduta Brahmana has mentioned all these things, how things are happening. Then the condition of the people here is they are like a deer in a forest. There is a water body, but that is covered by grass. The deer is unable to experience, unable to understand that particular water body is there. Instead, is searching for water, running everywhere, looking at mirage, thinking that it is water, and trying to get that water and quench its thirst. It is not able to identify the real happiness and searching after so many things. So, normally, we consider the happiness of the body is our own happiness, and we are searching after mirage. But when we accept the body of detachment, in that body of detachment, we can really experience the real happiness. So, like that, he kind of stated in the previous section. That is where we stopped in the last class. And today we'll continue from text number 30 onwards. So, in the next 5 verses, we will tell that how the metal anchoring is short lived, it is ultimately futile. So, especially, so when we are discussing this chapter is spoken keeping in mind a sannyasi. So, that means whatever has been said in this chapter is the mindset of a sannyasi. That should be the mindset of a sannyasi, or that should be the mindset of one who want to become sannyasi or want to live like a sannyasi. So this mindset should be cultivated. Basically, in order to attain liberation, one should have this kind of temperament. Otherwise, it is very difficult to get liberation. So that's why the details are very strong. So fine. So we will move on. देहादिभिर्दैवतन्त्रैर्
देहादिभिर्दैवतन्त्रैर्
आत्मनः सुखमी इहतः
आत्मनः सुखमीहतः
दुःखात्ययं चानिशस्य
दुःखात्ययं चानिशस्य
क्रियामोगा कृता कृता.
क्रियामोगः कृतः कृतः. The living entity tries to achieve happiness and rid himself of the causes of distress. But because the various bodies of the living entities are under the full control of material nature, all his plans in different bodies, one after another, are ultimately baffled.
Hmm. So the people of this world, how do they think? How they conduct themselves? What kind of lifestyle they follow? So some light is thrown on that. The actions of the powerless jiva who desires happiness and mitigation of suffering for himself by the body and mind, which are under the control of karma, become fruitless. So if one really want to get happiness and mitigate suffering, that too, with the help of this conditioned body and conditioned mind, he says, according to our Ravadut Brahmana, that is fruitless. They will never ever attain that happiness and mitigation of suffering. So this is my understanding of traveling all over the world, like that he says. Now 5 verses describe how an expected happiness becomes suffering. Instead of mitigating the current suffering and also getting new happiness, they only get more misery. The misery keeps on increasing, like that he is telling. The actions of the jiva desiring happiness and destruction of suffering are fruitless. Moga krita. So this is his understanding. If at all one want to attain liberation, this should be the mindset. So one may think that no, this world is a favorable place. I will do and I will earn money and I will be happy. So that is not the mindset of a person who want to attain liberation. A person who want to attain liberation, they will speak like this only. This world, we may get anything, but ultimately there is no everlasting happiness. There may be flickering happiness here and there, but everlasting happiness that is awarded in the liberated state is not possible to attain in this material world. If I want to get that, I need to be liberated. If I want to be liberated, I need to have this kind of disposition toward this material world. Of course, this is not a imagined disposition, it is actually a real thing only. It is not that one is imagining this like this. It is actually the real thing, actually acting on the real platform. This kind of mindset is. Then he further he says, आध्यात्मिकादिभिर्दुःखैर्
आध्यात्मिकादिभिर्दुःखैर्
अविमुक्तस्य कर्हि चेत्
अविमुक्तस्य कर्हि चेत्
मर्त्यस्य कृच्छ्रोपनतेर्
मर्तस्य कृच्छ्रोपनतेर्
अर्थैकामै क्रियेत किम्.
अर्थे कामे क्रियेत किम्. Materialistic activities are always mixed with three kinds of miserable conditions: adhyatmika, adidaivika, and adibhautika. Therefore, even if one achieves some success by performing such activities, what is the benefit of this success? One is still subjected to birth, death, old age, disease, and the reactions of his fruitive activities.
For a person not free from the threefold miseries, who is free from threefold miseries? No one. As long as we are in the material body, we are subjected to Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, and Adi Daivika. So currently, whole India is under high alert. The Adi Bhautika is going on. In some places, Adi Daivika is also going on. So these are always there. No one can say that I am free from threefold miseries. So for a person who is not free from the threefold miseries, who can suddenly die, there is no guarantee. Today we may sleep and tomorrow we may get up or not, we don't know. Everywhere high alert is going on, especially the cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, Calcutta, Delhi, Hyderabad. There is high risk zone areas. No guarantee that are we getting up tomorrow morning and able to see each other. No guarantee. So for a person who is not free from threefold miseries, for a person who can suddenly die, what can be achieved by attaining objects of enjoyment with great difficulty? So such a person might work very hard, work day and night and accumulate so much wealth, amass so much property, vehicle, bungalow, all these things. But for a person who is about to die, so what all these things will do? So like that, he says. Thing is that for a person who want to attain liberation, they should think like this only. Otherwise, they will never attain liberation. If sometimes the actions are successful, normally the actions are not successful, as it is said in the previous verse. But if sometimes, okay, people are successful, earning more money, accumulating more property here, there, etc., so many things, they are happy also in their day-to-day life. But still, one is unable to enjoy the results because whether one is willing or unwilling, the threefold miseries are always there, and death can come anytime. Not in our hand. Arthasya means of the person who can die suddenly. Thus, one cannot even enjoy the happiness mixed with sorrow. Yes, this material world is a world of duality. There is happiness along with sorrow. Yes, we know. We want that only. Even if somebody says that we want that happiness mixed with sorrow also, that is also not guaranteed. Death can come anytime and difficulties can come from any side. Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidevika Klesha. So like that, he says, nothing is certain in this material world. So that is the point you want to bring to. Then further, he says, पश्यामिदनिनां क्लेशम्
पश्यामि धनिनां क्लेशम्
lubdhanam ajitatmanam
Lubdhanam ajitatmanam
bayad alabdha nidranam
mayat alabdha nidranam
sarvato abhi sarvato bhi vishankinam.
sarvato abhivishamkinam. The Brahmana continued, I am actually seeing how a rich man who is a victim of his senses is very greedy to accumulate wealth and therefore suffers from insomnia due to fear from all sides despite his wealth and opulence.
Hmm. Now is going to details, is going deep, zooming in. What kind of problems can come? He says that I see the suffering of wealthy, even though a person may be greatly wealthy. Dhaninam, he already amassed lot of wealth and is very greedy. He want to earn more and more. He is tirelessly working day and night and cannot control their senses. Full of anxiety from all sides and who cannot sleep because of fear. Such a person is always in anxiety because he has a lot of wealth. He want to earn more and more wealth. Anyone can come and rob him. Anyone can come and kill him and loot him. He can't even sleep peacefully. In spite of having wealth, he can't sleep peacefully. Then what kind of happiness the wealth is giving? Like that is telling. I see that instead of relieving suffering, their suffering increases. So this person earned a lot of money so that he want to become free from misery. But because he is having wealth, he will get more misery. He is not even able to sleep peacefully. So the wealth is increasing his misery only. How will the health will bring happiness? So what he said in the previous verse is kind of giving a real time example. Then he further continues. Rajasas chaurata shetro. Sorry. Rajatas chaurata shetro.
राजतश्चौरता शत्रो
Swajanat pashupakshitaha.
स्वजनात् पशुपक्षिता
Artibhya kalata swasman.
अर्थिभ्यः कालता स्वस्मान्
Nityam pranarthavadbhayam.
नित्यं प्राणार्थवद्भयम्. Those who are considered materially powerful and rich are always full of anxieties because of governmental laws, thieves and drugs, enemies, family members, animals, birds, persons seeking charity, the inevitable time factor, and even their own selves. Thus, they are invariably afraid.
Ah. So what are the different reasons of his anxiety, fear, and sleeplessness? He is giving the examples. Those who are attached to wealth and to their physical strength, people who are attached to their wealth and physical strength to be used for enjoyment, have constant fear of government. So those who have wealth or those who have physical strength, they want to use that physical strength and wealth for the daily enjoyment. But even they are always in fearful situation, anxiety and sleeplessness. Why? They are afraid of government. Income tax raiding can happen anytime. They are afraid of thieves. They are afraid of enemies. The enemies can destroy all his plans and make him bankrupt. And family members. This person might have earned a lot of money working very hard, but some of his family members simply spending a lot of money and putting the money in casino here and there, and they are losing all the money. And also animals, birds. So in the these animals, birds are in the from the previous context. Animals like snakes can come and bite him. Tigers can come and pounce upon him. Something like that. So birds. So birds also can cause some harm. Of course, in the past example, animals and birds can cause some harm. But nowadays we can say, so nowadays the internet theft, some link will come. If you click on the link, gone, your account will become zero. So something like that. Person seeking charity, the people might come asking for charity. Oh, my dear sir, we are constructing temple, give some charity. My dear friend, we are doing this Annadan program, give some charity. That charity, like that, people might be keep on coming for asking charity because he's a wealthy person. He does not want to give. And also time. Person worked very hard, earned a lot of money. By the time he became old, so what will enjoy? He's bedridden, gone. Even their own selves. Even a person mentality is that no, no, I don't want to enjoy today. I want to enjoy tomorrow. So one is procrastinating, मतलब postponing. So you want to accumulate more and more. So उसमें time चला गया. So like this, all these things cause a person's anxiety, fear, and sleeplessness. That's why he says that I don't want to earn anything. I don't want to work hard. I just lying here and I'm realized myself and I'm experiencing unlimited happiness. I have no issues of anxiety, fear, and insomnia and all. That's why I'm fat. So he's telling. So somebody may say, people are also fat. Our fatness is because of obesity, not because of happiness. Swasmat from oneself means one can destroy oneself by forgetfulness. How? One has kept money in some place and forgot where he has kept. The money is gone. And one can destroy oneself by enjoyment. So for no reason, one goes here and there and spends a lot of money, gone. Or giving away one's wealth in charity. So of course, for good cause, if one gives charity, that is good for him. Future return will come. But if one gives charity for bad cause, so somebody will come and tell that no, no, we want to construct a club so that people can come and enjoy there. So give charity. If he gives charity, gone. The club is destroying everyone, and he is also destroyed because he has given charity for that club. So when somebody gives charity for wrong reasons, one is destroyed. So like that, by forgetting where one has kept the wealth, by enjoying for wrong things, and also giving to wrong people in charity, one is destroyed. Those who are attached to their wealth and their physical strength to be used for enjoying have fear from government, thieves, etc. Even though they may think that I'm very strong, stout, and healthy, and I have a lot of wealth, but IT raids can happen times. Thieves can come. Thieves may loot you or thieves may kill you and then loot you. Both things can be possible. Therefore, one should take only as much as needed for existence. So better no need to accumulate so much wealth. Accumulate only whatever is needed for your daily needs. That much only keep with you. Then there will be no fear of government, income tax department, no fear of thieves and no anxiety. You can sleep peacefully. Like that, if giving a solution for the people of this world also. So in first canto we study कामस्यनेन्द्रिय प्रीतिर्लाभो जीवेत यावता जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा नार्तो यच्चेह कर्मभिः. Especially for those people who want to come back to Godhead, they should never ever think of material enjoyment as their life goal. Instead, the life goal should be Jivasya Tattva Jignasa. The desire to understand the Atma and Paramatma should be the main activity that they should be cultivating day in, day out, who desire to come back to Godhead. For one who desires apavarga, sense pleasure attained from enjoying sense objects is not the goal as long as one lives. Jiveta Yavata. The goal of life should be the inquiry into the highest truth, absolute truth. What is accomplished by prescribed duties is not the goal. By performing worldly duties, what one gets? The wealth and name, fame, prestige, at max, Swarga, entry into Swarga. That should not be the goal for one who want to attain Apavarga, who want to come back to Godhead. Here the chapter is all about that person only. A sannyasi who is aspiring to attain liberation, what should be the mentality? How should one cultivate oneself? How should one conduct oneself? That is the subject matter here in this chapter. So like that. Then the last verse in this section he says, Shokamoha Bayakroda.
Shokam- Mataji, please read.
शोकमोहभयाक्रोध
रागक्लैब्याश्रमादया
रागकैलभ्यस्मृदय
यन्मूलस्योर्नृणां जय्यात्
यन्मूलसूर्यनरां जहता जहभ्य
यन्मूलस्योर्नृणां जह्यात्
यन्मूलस्वर्णं जहत्
स्पृहां प्राणार्तयोर्बुधः
स्पृहर प्राणार्थो बुद्धया. Translation: those in human society who are intelligent should give up the original cause of lamentation, illusion, fear, anger, attachment, poverty, and unnecessary labor. The original cause of all of these is the desire for unnecessary prestige and money.
Hmm. The intelligent person. Intelligent means those who have made up their mind to go back, come back to Godhead. They are called Buddha. According to Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, a Buddhiman Vyakti is that person who made the goal of his life is to go back, come back to Godhead. So the intelligent person therefore should give up the desire for wealth and physical strength. So there should be no desire for accumulating wealth and increasing physical strength, which are the cause of lamentation, shoka, illusion, moha, fear, bhaya, anger, krodha, raga, attachment, klaibya, poverty, and shrama, hard labor. Especially for a person who want to come back to Godhead as early as possible, they should not endeavor for accumulating wealth and accumulating physical strength, because ultimately these two things in the material world only produce lamentation, illusion, fear, anger, attachment, poverty, and labor. What was that verse in the Bhagavad Gita 5th chapter? 5:18. ఏయి సంస్పర్శజ భోగ దుఃఖయోన ఏవతే ఆది అంతవంత కౌంతేయ నతేషు రమతే బుధా. The Buddha, the intelligent people never ever engage in those activities which only produce misery. So now question is, what kind of activities will produce misery? Activities meant for earning wealth and physical strength. Physical strength means not literally physical strength. Physical strength means power, position, political power, or power due to position, a big officer, AO, aisa. Because here a person is talking to a king. The Avadhuta Brahmana is talking to King Prahlad Maharaj. So the kingly position, the kingly power. What are the king's power? Physical strength means not only the power of his own physical strength, he has the power of his entire military army. He will be having 4 types of army: Ashwadala, Gajadala, Padatidala, and Turagadala. So those will be fighting from horses, those will be fighting from elephants, those will be fighting infantry on the walk on the barefoot, and those will be fighting from chariots. So like that, the 4 kinds of power the king possesses, that is his physical strength. Not only his own person's strength, his entire army strength is his strength. And also he will have the wealth in the Kajana. So people work hard for these 2 things: power and influence and bank balance. So here he says that for those who are intelligent, who want to come back to Godhead, they should not endeavor for financial strength and physical strength, the power and position, because these 2 are ultimately are the cause of shoka, moha, bhaya, krodha, raga, klaibya, and shrama, etc. For a person who want to stay in this material world, it may be okay. But for a person who want to come back to Godhead as early as possible, better not run after these things. That's what is the Avadhuta Brahmana is telling. Because this is my understanding, that's why I'm not running after all of them. I'm simply lying here. I have no interest in any of these things: wealth and strength and power, name, position, etc., etc., etc. One should not endeavor for excessive bodily strength or excessive wealth. One can accomplish spiritual goals with meager strength and meager wealth. If at all one want to practice one's own sadhana to go back home back to Godhead, what wealth one need, what physical strength one need, what power, name, fame, all these things, what one required. Just to maintain the body and soul together, whatever basic things are required, that much you keep. Remaining all not required. So there is no need to earn further. There is no. But anyway, never ever get a wrong impression that this is for a sannyasi. That means the last part of one's life. Of course, in the initial days of life, one may be having ambitions to earn, maintain family, all these things are there. But eventually, one day, one should give up all the responsibilities to the next generation and take on to renounced order and cultivate this kind of mood. The ambitious, earning mentality should not continue till the last breath. There should be an appropriate time to renounce from all the worldly responsibilities and get on to vanaprastha or sannyasa kind of lifestyle and then cultivate this kind of mentality. If at all one want to go back to Godhead. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Though apparently here the traditional sannyasi who desiring to attain liberation is being described, even for a devotee also, the same mentality is very much required. Otherwise, one remains attached to things of this world and remains here in this material world. So these four chapters are like our guiding principles. For us to practice bhakti, our background should be as described in these four chapters. When we are in a particular ashram, particular status of life, in a particular varna, we should be following these guidelines and conducting ourselves as per the expected guidelines of the Shastra. All these things are very much conducive to take us back home back to Godhead. It's not that somebody may say that no, bhakti is beyond varnashrama because Mahaprabhu told Ramananda Rai, Yeho bahi aage kaho yaar. So we don't have to worry about varnashrama. Not like that. Those who don't have to worry about varnashrama because they have already come to sannyas. They are much more than sannyas. Now Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai, apparently one is sannyasi, other one is grahastha. Though apparently comes under varnashram system only. But both of them are highest topmost elevated platform. They are beyond varnashrama. So now it is a discussion between two intimate friends, highly elevated people. So there in their discussion, if they say varnashrama is bahya and go ahead. So that is not for us, that is for them. At their level, it is bahya, but at our level, it is very much essential. Wherever we are, we need to follow those respective rules so that we can come to the platform of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai, where one can say, Yeho bahya, aage ka ho yaar. So like that. Hare Krishna. Okay, you are able to follow everything? Any questions?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Little hard, eh? Little, matlab, thoda I5 philosophy, thoda strong. So, but we need that sometimes.
Yes, Prabhupada. Thank you.
No question.
Yeah. Now Prahlad Maharaj asks a question. Oh, my dear sir, from whom you taught all this? Where did you learn all these things? So then the Avadhuta Brahmana answers. From whom our Avadhuta Brahmana understood all these things, learnt all these things, and able to follow happily. Madhukara Mahasarpao
Madhukara Mahasarpau
Lokesminno Guruttamao
Lokesminno Guruttamo
Vairagyam Paritosham Cha
Vairagyam Paritosham Cha
Prapta Yachikshaya Vayam.
Praptaya Chikshaya Vayam. The bee and the python are two excellent spiritual masters who give us exemplary instructions regarding how to be satisfied by collecting a little and how to stay in one place and not move.
The bee and the python are our two excellent gurus who give us exemplary instructions regarding the satisfaction and renunciation. So he is renounced from everything connected to this material world, material activities, material wealth, material strength, and is completely happy. So these two things he has learned from two gurus. One is bee, other one is python. So from B understood satisfaction, from Python renunciation. So like that we can see. Anyway, we'll see in the next verses what he learned from them. Now, first B. Viraga sarva kamebhya
विरागः सर्वकामेभ्यः
shikshito me madhuvratat
शिक्षितो मे मधुव्रतात्
कृच्छ्राप्तं मधुवद्वित्तं
पृच्छाप्तं मधुवद्भित्तं
हत्वापि हत्वाप्यन्यो हरेत्पतिम्.
हत्वाप्यन्नो हरेत् पतिम्. From the bumblebee, I have learned to be unattached to accumulating money. For although money is a good as honey, anyone can kill its owner and take it away.
First, from first thing what he learned. From the bumblebee, I have learned to be unattached to the acquisitions. For a person comes and takes away one's money, which was obtained with difficulty, and was as sweet as honey after killing the owner to obtain it. So here, while I was reading, the word is used madhu, madhukara, madhuvratat. So madhu is generally we say honeybee, but here the madhu is used for bumblebee. Honeybee goes to every garden, collects nectar, and makes it honey and stores it in his honey beehive. But one day when the honey is stored, one day one person comes, puts smoke, kills all the honeybees, and takes away the honey. So it is working very hard to store the honey, but somebody else is coming and stealing away. But bumblebee does not do that. It will go to different flowers and eat and become fat and enjoy. It will never ever store honey because it's no. A honeybee stores honey and somebody will come and kill the honeybee and take away the honey. I will not do anything. Instead, if somebody comes to me to trouble me, I will sting them. So like that. So bumblebee remains happy without any attachment to store, accumulate wealth. It goes to a flower, eats and enjoys and happy. That's all. It does not want to store for tomorrow, and whatever is being stored and is getting accumulated or getting stolen by somebody else at the cost of one's own life. It does not do all these things. So this is what I have learned from bumblebee. Bumblebee simply goes and enjoys. It does not accumulate for future. So I also don't accumulate anything and live in fear of getting killed by somebody else. Instead, if I get something, I'll eat and remain happy. If I don't get anything, I'll remain happy. I'll fast and remain happy. So like that. He explains what the bee taught him. After attacking or killing the owner of wealth, another person steals the wealth. Like after killing the honeybee, one steals away the honey. But no one can do anything the bumblebee. People are afraid of going near to bumblebee because bumblebee stings. That is very too much. If 3 4 bumblebee stings a person again and again, that person may die also. That's why everyone is afraid of going to bumblebee. So I'm detached from wealth and people are detached from me. So like that. So from first bumblebee, he learned how to remain detached, how to be satisfied with whatever you get on its own accord, and be happy in that condition. And no one will disturb you, and you will not be disturb. You will not disturb anybody. You live on your own. So like that. Second, he learned another lesson from Python. He is following this Ajagara Vritti. It is called Ayachita Vritti is actually called as Ajagara Vritti. Ajagara means Python. It is a lifestyle of Python. So he learned from Python and is following whatever he learned from Python. That is being discussed in the next verse. Aniha paritushtatma
Aniha paritushtatma
yadrochopanatadaham
yadrachopanatadvaham
no chechaya bahuvahani
no chechaya bhavahani
mahahiriva sattvavan.
mahahi iva sattvavan. I do not endeavor to get anything, but I am satisfied with whatever is achieved on its own way. If I do not get anything, I am patient and unagitated like a python and lie down in this way for many days.
Ah, very interesting thing he learned from Python. I do not endeavor to get anything, but I am satisfied with whatever comes on its own. Bumblebee at least goes to a garden nearby and takes nectar from flower and fills hunger on that day. But Python is one step ahead. I don't even go to the garden to get my food. I remain at one place only. If the food comes on its own to me, I will have it. Otherwise, wait whenever it comes. I do not endeavor to get anything, but I am satisfied with whatever comes on its own. If I do not get anything, I am patient like a python and sleep in this way for many days. Just like I am sleeping here, like that I sleep until the food comes on its own. So this is what he has learned from Python. So Bumblebee at least going to see here we have three things: honeybee, bumblebee, and python. So honeybee is like grasta. A grasta is like a honeybee, works and maintains oneself and saves something for future, like a honeybee. And bumblebee is like sannyasi. He will visit some grasa's home, take bhiksha, and maintain for that day. And next day he will visit another grasa's home, take bhiksha, and maintain himself. So like that. But higher than sannyasa is like ayachita vritti, like Madhavendra Puripad was doing same thing. He does not even go to the house of a grasta to beg for his maintenance. He will do his own duty. And nearby some people see him and they want to give him something. "Hey, यार बाबा जी बैठे बहुत देर से बैठे कुछ देते हैं उनको खाने के लिए कुछ खाया नहीं सुबह से." People out of compassion they come and they give on their own. Then I'll take it. Otherwise, I remain fasting. It's like that. One step higher than sannyasa. That is what he had learned from Python and remain as it is. In Krishna's pastimes, from Krishna book, we see that what was his name? Agasura. He came and he wide opened his mouth and he was waiting. And the Gopas thought that it is a new, what you can say, a magic thing, something nicely looking. Let us go inside and see what is there. They went and he closed his mouth. Because Krishna was there, Krishna saved all the boys. Otherwise, when they go inside, they are gone. They are food for him that day. So food comes on its own. That is called Ajagara Vritti. So like that. Though many people might be criticizing this Avadut Brahmana, some people might say that okay, okay, ye kalo, a pool kalo, a fal kalo, a pani pilo, like something they might give something. So he would maintain like that. He would sustain with that. If he gets, he would eat. If he does not get, he will not eat. He was happy both the ways because it is he has chosen this kind of lifestyle. So he had learned these two lessons from these two gurus. So like that, there is another Avadhuta Brahmana in the 11th canto. He talks about what he had learned from 24 gurus. So he also traveled different places all over the world and he had learned many things from many gurus. So he had 24 gurus. So the 24 gurus, what he had learned that comes in the 11th canto. So what he had learned will not get into it. But who are the 24 gurus? Something like this only. We'll see that. Sri Brahmana Uvacha Santi me Guravo Rajan Bahavo Buddhi Upashrita Yato Buddhi Mupadaya Muktotamiha Tan Shrunu. So he said this is from 11th canto, 7th chapter. What is here is text number 32. Afterward 33, 34, 35 talks about the 24 gurus which are in yellow. The Brahmana said, his name is Avadhuta Brahmana. The Avadhuta Brahmana said, O king, with my intelligence, I have taken shelter of many gurus, 24 gurus. Having gained understanding from them, I now wander about the earth, free from suffering. I am liberated from suffering of samsara. Please listen as I describe them to you. So from this verse onwards, to 32 ke baad, he will talk about what he has learned from each and every guru. But we just put the names of the gurus, the 24 gurus. Who are all they? The earth, air, ether, water, fire, moon, sun, pigeon, python, ocean, moth, honeybee, elephant, honey thief, chori karne wala, deer, fish, the prostitute pingala, kurara bird, a child, young girl, arrow maker, a serpent, a spider, and a wasp. These are the 22, 24 gurus from which he had learned many things. As a result of that, he gained understanding of the reality of this material world and is simply wandering on the surface of the earth, free from suffering. Other people who are working very hard, they are only getting suffering. And this person not working anything and not working anything, not doing anything, but simply traveling and be happy. This is what this Avadhuta Brahmana is trying to teach us. By their activities, I have learnt about the self. Just by referring at all of these 24 people, I have understood the reality of this material world. Who am I and who is the Supreme Lord? I had this understanding completely. So with that understanding, with that realization, I am simply wandering on the surface of the earth. So like that. So 24 gurus there and 2 gurus here. 26 gurus we have from Bhagavatam. So we can learn so many things from these 26 gurus. So like that. Now, Avadhuta Brahmana further continues. What kind of lifestyle is leading? After learning from Bhi and Python, how he spent his life for the past many days. Today I met you, but in the past, how are you leading your life? That was the question for which he is answering. ये तो बड़ा verse. Somebody can read the translation directly. This is not in a meter. It's like a prose only.
Sometimes I eat a very little quantity and sometimes a great quantity. Sometimes the food is very palatable and sometimes it is stale. Sometimes prasada is offered with great respect and sometimes food is given neglectfully. Sometimes I eat during the day and sometimes at night. Thus, I eat what is easily available.
So you can remember Jada Bharata. In the fifth canto, we have seen that Jada Bharata, where Bharat Maharaj, when he appeared as a Brahmana in the Brahmana family as a Brahmana boy, how he was conducting himself like a madman. So in that condition, it was said that he had 9 elder brothers. So sometimes they always engage him in field activities, agriculture activities, but they don't feed him properly. They would only give the leftover burnt portions here and there, and what was not eaten by anybody in the family. Yesterday's food was given today, today's food is given tomorrow, day after tomorrow, like that. So same thing here we can see. He says, when people give me some food, they don't give me the high class food. They would give all the stale, useless food only. But still, I eat all those things for my survival. He says, sometimes I eat a small quantity. People only give small. I eat that only. Sometimes a great quantity of food. Some people might give more food. I eat that. Sometimes the food is very palatable, good food. Sometimes it is stale, already spoiled food. Sometimes it has good qualities, and sometimes it does not have any. Sometimes it is tasty, sometimes it's not tasty. Sometimes it is brought with respect. Some people give me with respect, and at other times without respect. I eat it somewhere during the day, night, whenever it comes. It is not that always the food will come. The charitable person will give me at 9 a.m. in the morning and 12 noon and evening 7 p.m. No, no time. We don't know. After they all eat, sometimes there may be a function in the late night. They all eat till 11, 11:30. 11:30, they'll search for somebody who can take the leftover food. So like that, sometimes I may get in the daytime, sometime in the night time, sometime early in the morning. But I take whenever it comes, I take. I don't have any reservations. So this is how I was living my life. So
Hare
like that it
Krishna
is.
Prabhuji.
Mataji.
When a person advances to this stage, whether he's eating prasad or whether he's not eating prasad doesn't make any difference. No?
It does not make any difference. Because he is not eating for his enjoyment, he is eating for survival, just to maintain the body and soul together. He is already doing sadhana 24 by 7 and he is eating kelly is only spending hardly 1 or 2 minutes. What would he get? He will get a small morsel quantity that will not take time only. So you don't have to think about is it prasadam or not, all these things.
Hare Krishna.
Hmm. Shaumam dukulam ajinam
Shaumam dukulam ajinam
kshiram valkalameva va
Chiram valkalameva va
वशेन्यद् अपि सम्प्राप्तम्
vastenyadapi sampraptam
तिष्ठभुक्तुष्टधीरहम्
tishta bhuktushtadhiraham. To cover my body, I use whatever is available, whether it be linen, silk, cotton, bark, or deerskin, according to my destiny, and I am fully satisfied and unagitated.
Hmm. The previous verse talks about food and the next verse talks about clothing. Food, clothing and shelter are the basic requirements of anybody in this world. So he is a sannyasi. So food के बारे में बोल दिया. अभी clothing. Satisfied and accepting my fate, I wear whatever is available, whether it be linen, silk, dark, deerskin, or anything else. Whatever I may get on the roadside, and whatever I may get from charity, I would take it for my clothing. That's all. With that only I lead my life. I don't have to worry about I need to purchase jeans, this, that, all these things. I don't have any such reservations. If something I find on the roadside, I'll wear it. Or if somebody gives me something, I'll wear it. That's all. No need to worry about clothing. If no clothing is available, then I may take deer skin or tree bark, which are anyway available in the forest. So like that. Next. So food, clothing, shelter. Vachichayedaropaste
Kvachichayedaropaste
trina parnashrama basmasu
Trina Parnashama Bhasmasu
trina parnashma basmashu
Trina Parna Parnashma Bhasmasu
क्वचित् प्रसादा पर्यङ्के
Kvachit Prasad Paryanke
कशिपौ वा परेच्छया.
Kashipau Va Parechaya. Sometimes I lie on the surface of the earth, sometimes on leaves, grass, or stone, sometimes on a pile of ashes, or sometimes by the will of others, in a place on a first class bed with pillows.
Hmm. So people like us are very much particular about food, clothing, shelter. Food, we want first class, tasty, palatable, 3 times a day, on time. Clothing, our cupboards, almaras are filled with lot of different variety of clothing, green, white, yellow, blue, black, etc., etc., etc. So then shelter. So nowadays it is a big thing. Real estate, so much is happening in the Bombay. Crores of rupees are required for 2 BHK apartment. So we our life goes in food, clothing, shelter only. But here he says food, जो मिले वो लेता हूँ, clothing जो मिले वो पहनता हूँ, और shelter, sometimes I lie on the surface of the earth, bare floor, no soft cushion bedding, no AC room, no bungalow, on the bare floor in the forest, sometimes on grass, sometimes on leaves, sometimes on stone, sometimes on a pile of ashes, sometimes by the will of others, in a place on a fine bed with pillows. Sometimes if somebody offers me something, like some bedding and pillow, I may use it. Otherwise, Bhagavan ne already. Sometimes bare floor, grass, leaves, stone, and pile of ashes. If nothing is there, pile of ashes also. If it is very cold season, I'll go to crematorium and sleep on the pile of ashes, which was just burnt in the morning, and the night it will be warm. Bus, just to keep oneself warm in the cold winter. So like that. So no reservations about shelter. Daropaste means on the lap of the earth. So it's like that. So he consider that Daropa, I'm sleeping on the bare floor, but I'm thinking that I'm sleeping on the lap of my mother. So like that. That is a kind of thought process is going on in the mind of this person. Not interested in, not anxious, not worried about having a home, having clothing, having fine clothing, and having good food on time, hot, tasty, nothing like that. So this should be the mentality of a person who want to come back to Godhead. Not so much worried about things of this world. Then further says,
Hare
what
Krishna.
is ah
Prabhuji,
yes,
one
Mataji.
query. Yeah.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that the learned Brahmana's description indicates different types of births, wherein the person lies in, the jiva lies in different states. So, your description that the person is not worried and he can stay anywhere, whichever place he gets. So, how to understand both simultaneously?
No,
Like,
see here in this current context, we are talking about a sannyasi who is aspiring to attain liberation. So what I mentioned is as per the current situation. But in general, we can also attribute the verse to such thing also. He is saying that as sometimes I have born as an insect living in the earth holes, snake or ant or rat. Sometimes I've been as an insect living in the green grasses and moving on the leaves, etc. etc. So these are all the different species one might be having, and one might be leading one's life like that also. Like that also one can interpret it. But here in the current context is all about a sannyasi. The question is, oh my dear sir, how have you been living all the while? We had become sannyasi 10 years back. For the last 10 years, how did he spend his time? How you maintain your food? Basic things are, these are the basic things. For any person, we need these three things: food, clothing, shelter.
yes,
So how are you
yes.
managing these three things? That is the question, and he's telling about all these three things.
Okay.
Yeah, in that way. So according to the current context, that is the proper sequence of things.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, Prabhupada is giving a broader perspective. Even this person might be talking about the previous lives also. मैं पहला जन्म में ये था वो था इंसेक्ट था क्या एनिमल था ये था वो था वो सब बोल रहे हैं. भाई फॉरेस्ट एनिमल है तो कहाँ पे सोएंगे? पेड़ फ्रूट पे सोएंगे, कभी ग्रास पे सोएंगे, कभी पत्थर के ऊपर सोएंगे. Like that.
Yes.
Quachis
Hare Krishna,
not.
brother.
Mataji.
Prabhuji, like how we see all these things, because last time also you explained that all these things are for sannyasis guidelines, and we cannot compare it with the grihasthas things. That is why I didn't ask in many of the things that, because considering that this is for sannyasis. But like for grihasthas, like
No,
as a
wait.
devotee.
It is not just for sannyasi. It is for a sannyasi who aspiring to attain liberation ASAP.
So does that mean, Prabhuji, like as a grihastha, when we are performing bhakti, it is understood that these people are, or means the grooming of the devotee as a congregation devotee or as a grihastha is only like that, that the goal for them is not set that means as soon as possible you want to go to Godhead,
Ah,
because it is accepted that they will be doing multiple things which will finally become the hindrance for their going back to Godhead sooner. So
mm.
is it like that, Praveen?
See, Bhagavatam is like heart surgery. It is cutting your heart and opening and showing everything what is what. It is up to, we should be intelligent enough to accept it. Today in our surroundings, we may tell somebody or somebody might tell us, no, no, you are a grasa, you are this, you are that. You need to have all these things, you need to accumulate, you need to earn, you need to do all these things, all these things. No problem. Having something is not a problem. But after having something, what is our attachment to that? That is a problem. So when one is a grasta, one can have something, but afterwards one should be ready to do what is mentioned for Vanaprastha or sannyasi. Then only one will come back to Godhead. What mentality, what ambitions we have today, we cannot drag on that till the last breath. If at all we want to come back to Godhead. If we drag on that till the last breath, we still remain as a grasta. And then we need to take one more life to practice the lifestyle of Vanaprastha and one more life to practice the lifestyle of sannyasi. Ultimately,
Okay, like
without
how?
detachment, without detachment, one cannot give up this material world. So that doesn't mean that. So even here, two things. So one may say that no, no, can I not go back home back to God as a grahastha? One may be physically in the grahastha ashram, but mentally one should be sannyasi. Then only one can go back home back to Godhead. Without accepting the sannyas mentality, one cannot go back home back to Godhead. That is not possible.
Okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
because in ISKCON we see many senior devotees, Prabhuji, they are in the Grihastha and they are doing lot of preaching activities and lot of service for Prabhupada's movement.
No, no,
But
don't again,
they are
don't talk about preaching and all. Preaching is a spiritual activity. So you
that's what I'm saying, that they are
uh,
doing certain service of the Lord only, but only thing they have not renounced everything externally at least.
you talk about that. If you are preaching, that is okay. Here, the our Ayachita Vrtta Brahmana, that Avaduta Brahmana, his sadhana is dhyana, contemplating upon self and Paramatma and Paramatma. For them, the sadhana is contemplation, dhyana. For us, the sadhana is preaching. But in that preaching, we are looking for name, fame, comforts, all these things. Then we are attached. We are not preaching for going back to Godhead, but we are preaching for comforts, name, fame, etc.
Okay, so then that having externally having so many material things will not actually, they are not actually the hindrance, but the internal blockage of having desires for name, fame, or whatever other desires
Yes,
other
it is
than
like honeybee
service of the Lord.
mentality. It is like
Yeah,
honeybee
so that,
mentality. Trying to get name, fame, possessions, and all these things are like honeybee mentality. So you are attached to honey, and somebody will come and kill you and take away the honey.
yeah,
You
true,
will not
Prabhu,
attain
yeah.
liberation.
Yes. So means we should not worry that we are having many things as a grihasthas, but we should try to see that how much we are attached to that, and if time comes, are we able to let it go, all the things, and
Wait.
when.
Your question will be answered in the next chapter. See, right now we have
Okay.
only seen about Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi. We are seeing the Grihastha will come next. So there we'll understand
Okay.
whether having something, how to deal with those things what we have.
Okay, Brahmaji. Thank you for.
That will come in the next chapter. Right now you don't intermingle both.
That is why I was skipping quite since long that
It will
this
come
is
in the
all
next
for
chapter. Next
sannyasi.
chapter it
Yeah,
will
yeah,
come. See, now
yeah.
this is whether one may be devotee or jnani or yogi, Ashtanga yogi, whatever it is, in one's last few years. So one may be a grasta up to 50 or 60 years. Afterwards, one should become Vanaprastha, follow the Vanaprastha rules for 1 year, 2 year, 4 year, 6 year, 8 year, 10 year, 12 year. Chalega. Then one should become sannyasa. externally or internally, whatever it is, then this lifestyle should be followed, even by a devotee also. Even a devotee also should follow this kind of lifestyle,
Yeah.
if not externally, but internally, definitely. Otherwise, without which, difficult to go back to Godhead.
Actually, Prabhuji, in Prabhupada also at one place he has said na, that unless you have preached sufficiently, you won't be able to do the go to Radha Kund and do bhajan like that. So that means somewhere he had that in the mind that you first do the preaching sadhana well, and then once you are physically weak or not able to do things, you can do your then immerse yourself completely in the bhajan like that. Na.
Yes, yes, yes.
So yeah.
Srila Prabhupada told all these things because we are so ambitious to earn material wealth and material properties and all. Srila Prabhupada wanted total that ambitious mentality in preaching. So you want to do something and do something in preaching. So instead of utilizing your energy in material activities, utilize your energy in spiritual activity that will be helping you to attain spiritual progress.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So
Yes.
like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, people like me, we speak so many things, but we don't follow. Speaking, it may be good, but unless until we don't follow, it will not help us anyway. What we follow will take us on the path back to Godhead, not what we speak. One can speak like a parrot, that does not take one back to Godhead. But if one follows what one speaks, that following will take one back to Godhead. Don't be under the impression that somebody okay preaching a lot, so he will go back to not that. If one follows what one is preaching, then one will come back to Godhead. So it is like that.
Yes,
At least
Prabhuji.
this
Prabhuji,
is my
but yeah,
understanding. I may be right or wrong, but this is my understanding.
yes, it is perfectly fine. Means what you're speaking is truth, Prabhuji. But I just have to I want to add one thing like that, Prabhuji. When we speak to somebody else as a preaching, it automatically sends us the reminder na, that I am telling others, so I must follow this. Otherwise, my words will not have any value, and
No,
it will
no,
not
no.
have
That will not come
impact on the
automatically.
others.
It is that will not come automatically. That will not come automatically. What comes is, see, I am favoring, I am instructing them, I am favoring them, I am helping them. I am Guru. This comes automatically. The other thing won't come automatically. When a person becomes bigger and bigger, such a person will never accept anybody else's suggestions. When somebody is going a wrong path, somebody else will come and tell, बाबा आप तो थोड़ा ध्यान दो, आप इधर उधर गलत कर रहे हैं. Says, how you are telling me? How dare you tell me? I know everything. I know Shastra. I can quote verses left and right. How dare you tell me? I know everything. I am doing everything perfectly right. That is what happens. Majority. What you say might be minority. If majority are like that, is very good. But may or may not.
Yeah, quite hard path, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you.
It is easy to speak, difficult to hear, and more difficult to follow. We are always ready to tell others, and we are not ready to hear from others, and not at all ready to follow what others tell us to follow.
Yes, true, Prabhuji.
We only follow what we are convinced with. Till then, we don't follow. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on. Let us see what this Avadhu Brahman is further has to say. Kvachisnatonu liptanga
क्वचित् सन्तो नुलिपथाङ्ग
suvasa gragvi alankritah
सुवासा स्वगै अलङ्कृत
ऋते बाष्वैश्चरे क्वापि
रथे भाष्वसि चरि क्वपि
दिग्वासा गृहवद् विभो.
Digvasa Grahavat Vibho. Translation. Oh my Lord, sometimes I bathe myself very nicely, smear sandalwood pulp all over my body, put a flower garland, and dress in fine garments and ornaments. Then I travel like a king on the back of an elephant or on a chariot or horse. Sometimes, however, I travel naked like a person haunted by a ghost.
Hmm. So the basic requirement of a human being are food, clothing, shelter. आपको फूड चाहिए सर्वाइवल के लिए. यू नीड क्लॉथ टू रिमेन एज ए सिविलाइज्ड पर्सन, नॉट टू बी बीटन बाय पीपल इन जनरल. शेल्टर, आपको आप स्वयं रक्षा करने के लिए कुछ शेल्टर चाहिए, समवेयर हियर एंड देयर, गुफा और होम और व्हाटएवर इट इज. एंड वन स्टेप अहेड ऑफ दैट, one who has already met basic requirements, then now we are entering into the luxury zone. So in that luxury zone, what he was getting, oh master, sometimes I bathe. Of course, bathing everyone will do, but this South Brahmana, where he will bathe? He may bathe in the lake or in the river, but he will never get to bathe in the hot water. But in the home, we get hot water. Sometimes I bathe, sometimes I smear sandalwood pulp all over my body. Right now, Chandan Yatra is going on. The Lord's body is applied sandalwood pulp so that his body is cool in this hot summer. He says, sometimes some people might give me some sandalwood pulp to make my body cool, and sometimes I may wear perfume. Sometimes some people might put perfume upon me. A flower garland, sometimes somebody will put a flower garland upon me. Sometimes some people might give some ornaments, some basic simple ornaments, some motika mala, etc. etc. And sometimes I travel an elephant. Normally I walk, but sometimes some people, out of compassion upon me, they may consider me as a sadhu and they may tell, so please ride the elephant, I'll take you here and there. Sometimes somebody may give me lift in the chariot. Sometimes somebody may help me drive on a horse, take me on a horse. Sometimes, however, I travel naked. Sometimes when I don't have anything, even clothing also, I may travel naked, like a person haunted by a ghost. So what can be done? Clothing is also not there. I travel in the forest without any clothing also. So like that. So after basic requirements, one step higher is luxury. So in that luxury, if some people offer me something, I may get. Otherwise, walking is basic requirement. Traveling by hitchhiking and vehicle and some here and there. In the old context, elephant, chariot, horse. In nowadays context, a bike or car or train or bus, whatever ride we may do. If somebody want to go from Bombay to Vrindavan, then a basic person can walk. But so a sannyasi, some people might offer him a ticket either in the car, basically sometimes in the bus, generally in the train. Then better than the train is bus, and much better than that is car. And we also have nowadays flight. So like that. So some people sponsor, they will take it. Otherwise, go by walk. Like that. नाहं निन्दे च नाहं निन्दे न च स्तौमि
नाहं निन्देन च स्तौमि
स्वभावा विषमं जनम्.
स्वभावा विषमं जनम्
घर में बुलाएंगे.
एतेषां श्रेय आशासे.
धीरे धीरे ऊपर खड़ा होकर नहीं चलाना.
एतेषां श्रेय आशासे.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभुजी, प्लीज म्यूट. हरे कृष्णा, काइंडली म्यूट.
उनके नाम बताती हूँ. ओके.
उतैकात्म्यं महामनि महात्मने.
उतैकात्म्यं महात्मनि. Different people are of different mentalities. Therefore, it is not my business either to praise them or to blaspheme them. I only desire their welfare, hoping that they will agree to become one with the Super Soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna.
Next, dealing with the people around us. Food, clothing, shelter, little bit luxury. than dealing with people with around us. I do not praise or criticize people who have different mentalities. So when I go across, I may meet some people who are respecting me, some people who are criticizing me, but I don't judge them. It is up to them. They have their own right to criticize or praise me. So why should I praise or criticize them? I don't praise somebody who praises me. I don't criticize somebody who criticizes me. So like that. I pray that they practice bhakti or gain liberation in Paramatma, though that is more difficult than bhakti. Instead, whomsoever I come across, I simply pray that either they should practice bhakti or practice jnana and attain liberation. Either they should practice bhakti and go back home back to Godhead, or practice jnana and attain Sayujya Mukti. This is what my prayer is. Instead of judging them who they are, how they are, I simply pray, let this person become a devotee or a practitioner of jnana, either go to spiritual world or go to Kaivalya, Sayujya Mukti. This is my prayer for people whomsoever I come across. Shreya means Bhakti Yoga. Uta indicates liberation. Aikatmyam is more difficult than attaining the Lord by Bhakti. So this verse says that attaining the Lord is very easy. Attaining Sayujya Mukti is very difficult. In spite of that, I still pray that if they want to go to Vaikuntha, let them go to Vaikuntha. If they want to go to Brahmajyoti, if they let them go to Brahmajyoti. Though it may be easy or difficult, but this is my prayer for them, whomsoever I come across. Whether they may do some good to me, whether they may harm me, but I don't judge that. Instead, I simply pray for their well-being. This is how he deals with the people. See, at least while I was preparing for all these things in the afternoon, I was thinking that in one sense, life is very simple if one leads like this. But today we cannot lead like this because we have been trained in a particular way of lifestyle for so many years. Very difficult to live away with all of them. Very difficult to live away with mobile. Very difficult to live away with laptop. Very difficult to live away with the locker and living space. All these things. And prasadam 3 times or 2 times a day. We have so many reservations. My plate, my place, my sleeping place, my working place, my locker, my clothing, my ropeline, my shelter. At least I'm telling about me. So mine, 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 like that. We have so many reservations. But here, this is sannyasi. This is the way he has to lead. So like that. Externally, it seems very difficult, but unless until one is following this kind of lifestyle, it becomes very difficult to go back home back to Godhead. Having followed this kind of lifestyle, when one is about to die, is almost reaching death, then how one should prepare oneself, leave this world behind and go back to spiritual world. The preparation at the time of death is being described in the last section, 43 to 46. Now, two verses describe a process for remaining in this condition to be employed by the practicing Jnana Yogi and Ashtanga Yogi for those who are aspiring to get liberation. Sayujya Mukti. Let us see. विकल्पं जुहुयाच्चित्तौ
विकल्पं जुहुया चित्तौ
तां मनसि अर्थविभ्रमे
तां मनसि अर्थविभ्रमे
मनोवैकारिके हुत्वा
मनोवैकारिके हुत्वा
तं मायायां जुहोत्यनु.
तं मायायां जुहोत्यनु. The mental concoction of discrimination between good and bad should be accepted as one unit and then invested in the mind. We should then be invested in the false ego. The false ego should be invested in the total material energy. This is the process of fighting false discrimination.
Previous chapter we saw when a vanaprastha while following his vanaprastha duty, suddenly becomes diseased or old. Now he cannot follow anymore. Then he should give up life without eating anything and without doing anything. In that condition, how, what kind of sankalpa he should make, and how he should spend the remaining days simply lying on the bare floor and giving up that body and waiting for the last breath to attain liberation. Same way, the sannyasi also, who followed the sannyasa lifestyle for so many years, now he has become old and diseased. Now he can't do anything more. Now he also should lie down at one place and then he should make this sankalpa. What is that sankalpa? One should offer various actions into consciousness and offer consciousness into the mind, the root of illusion. After offering the mind into ahankara, one should offer ahankara into prakriti. So, this is the translation of the sloka. But what is the meaning of the sloka? The meaning is vikalpa means various actions. Sankalpa vikalpa means various thought processes and fulfilling those thought processes. I have a desire and I will do activity to fulfill that desire. So this is called sankalpa vikalpa. So one should give up the sankalpa and vikalpa into the thought process of the mind. Because when there is a thought, there will be action. So offer all the actions into thought. That means stop performing any activity. So put all the actions back into thoughts, thought process of the mind. And next, stop thinking. Don't think, because you can't stop doing anything, something. As long as there is thought, you will be doing something. So first of all, stop activity, then stop thinking. So then activities are offered to thoughts, and thoughts should be offered to the source of thoughts, the mind. All the thoughts should be offered back to the mind, and the mind should be offered back to the ahankara, from where the mind came. We have seen in the creation third canto, the mind is produced from the sattvic ahankara. Now the mind should be offered back to the sattvic ahankara. And ahankara is produced from Mahatattva. Therefore, ahankara should be offered back to Mahatattva. And Mahatattva is produced from Pradhana. Therefore, Mahatattva should be offered back to Pradhana. So like that, so basically we have this gross body and subtle body, everything is there. With the gross body, with the help of the gross body, we perform all the activities such as seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, walking, running, lifting, collecting, giving away, speaking, evacuating, begetting children. All these are jnana activities and karma activities, karmendriyas and jnanendriyas. First, stop all the activities. Stop anything that we do with the gross body. Then stop thinking with the mind. Then offer the mind back to ahankara. And offer ahankara to mahatattva. Offer mahatattva to pradhana. That means the 24 elements of our body are produced from pradhana. We have been utilizing them till now. Now I have become diseased and I have become old. Now I don't want to do anything with the body. So offer all the 24 elements back to the pradhana from which they came. So that means even though you are still in the body, that body does not belongs to you. If the body does not belongs to you anymore, you don't have any right to utilize that body. That means the activity that are done by the body, like seeing, hearing, speaking, smelling, touching, tasting, eating, drinking, walking, running, lifting, giving and accepting, evacuating, passing stool and urine, and begetting children, etc., etc. Stop all these activities, because the body does not belong to you. So you don't have any right to do anything more with the body. So no worldly activities.
Hare
Only
Krishna,
one thing you
Prabhuji.
can do is breathing. Just lie down and breathe. That's all.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, this is a state of samadhi, no?
Yeah, yes, we can say samadhi. Yes, for Ashtanga yoga is samadhi.
Because every activity is stopped then.
Yeah, every activity stopped. They only do two things. One is breathing. Second one is meditating upon Paramatma. Dhyana. That's all. सब कुछ बंद हो गया है.
So samadhi is a state of samadhi is different for different paths, isn't it?
I
Like
mean,
for
when you technically say samadhi in Ashtanga Yoga, the eighth stage, what we call it samadhi. For
yes,
Jnana
for
Yoga, we
the
can call it as dhyana. For Bhakti, we can call it as smaranam. So devotees do smaranam on the Nama Rupa Gunala Supreme Lord. And the Jnanis do dhyana on the absolute truth, Brahman, Parabrahman. And yogis do some meditation on Paramatma.
Parama.
See, in any case, the object of meditation may vary, but activity is same. Smaranam only. Whether you may call it as dhyanam, samadhi, or smaranam, the activity is same only.
In one of the purports somewhere recently I read that Prabhupada writes that if a person bhakti yogi, he is engaged he engages every moment of his life in Krishna conscious activities, then that is also a state of samadhi.
Yes. In one sense,
Serving
if we are
either,
not doing anything for ourselves, see here, we are stopping the bodily activities for the bodily maintenance or for the bodily enjoyment. If one is not doing any activity for the bodily maintenance or for bodily enjoyment, then one is in samadhi. One is engaged in devotional activities for to do devotional activities, one is maintaining the body, then that is samadhi. In order to maintain the body, if you are doing devotional service, that is bhoga. Hmm.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Yeah, it's like that. Okay, when he has made sankalpa, because now my body is not cooperating anymore, I am diseased, I am become old, I cannot walk, so I simply lie down. So then stop all the physical, mental, emotional activities. Just waiting for the last breath. That is a sankalpa. Atmanubhutau tam maya
Atmanubhuta tammayaya
juhuya satyadruk muni
juhyayat satpradurtuni
tato niriho viramet
tato niriho virame
स्वानुभूत्यात्मनि स्थितः.
svanubhutyayatmin svanubhutyatmani sthita. Translation: a learned, thoughtful person must realize that material existence is illusion. This is possible only by self realization. A self realized person who has actually seen the truth should retire from all material activities, being situated in the self realization.
After making the sankalpa, simply lying down, then what one should do? A sage without any material desires, who sees the truth, Satyadrak Munihi, who only sees the truth, the reality of this material world, should offer Prakriti into Brahman. Till now, all the elements subsequently offered into Prakriti, that is Pradhana. Now we should offer Pradhana into the absolute truth, Brahman, from whom the Prakriti came. Situated in Brahman, he should become completely detached from material life. Then he should only think about Brahman, the absolute truth. His meditation is all about the absolute truth, the Parabrahman, and wait for the death. Swatmavrittam mayettam te
Vatmavrittam mayetham te
suguptam apivarnitam
suguptam apivarnitam
व्यपेतं लोकशास्त्राभ्याम्
vyapetam lokashastrabhyam
भवान् हि भगवत्परः.
bhavan hi bhagavat parah. Prahlad Maharaj, you are certainly a self-realized soul and a devotee of the Supreme Lord. You do not care for public opinion or so-called scriptures. For this reason, I have described to you without hesitation the history of my self-realization.
So in one sense, he says that anyway, what I am following and what I have described is meant for the jnanis and yogis, those who are aspiring for Sahyajya Mukti, etc. but you are a great devotee. From since childhood, you have been in touch with the Supreme Lord. For you, if you want, you can follow all these things. Otherwise, it's not required also because the Lord is already situated in the core of your heart. You are already liberated. You are already Jivan Mukta. So, like that is glorifying Prahlad Maharaj. I have thus described to you very secret knowledge of the Atma, not approved by common people and scriptures. But you are a great devotee of the Supreme Lord and do not need it. The people in general may say that no, no, ये क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? This is very tough to practice. ऐसा मत बोलो, हम ये हमारे लिए नहीं, हमको नहीं बोलने का. Like that, many people might reject what I am doing and what I am saying. But this is the essence of the scriptures. And I am telling you because I know that you are a great devotee. The Lord is stood in your heart. You will never reject it. But it's up to you whether you want to follow it like this or not. This knowledge is devoid of people's and scriptures approval from the commoner's point of view. The common people may say that what you are telling is not as per Shastra. What you are telling is not as per the people in general what they say. Like that, some may say. But actually, it is not so. It is as per Shastra. He says, no, what I am saying is actually as per Shastra. Shastra only says that one should do like this. Otherwise, why should I say all these things? Why should I follow all these things? Simply waste of time. However, because you are the great devotee of the Lord, this knowledge is not necessary for you. Whatever I am following, whatever I am saying, it is meant for those who want to attain Sahajya Mukti. But you are an intimate servant of the Supreme Lord, it may not be so much required for you. So, like that. So, this is one point he makes at the end. Now, the last verse of this chapter. Sri Narada Uvacha.
श्रीनारद उवाच
Dharmam Paramahamsam Vai
धर्मं पारमहंसं वै
Mune Shrutva Sureshwaraha
मुनेः श्रुत्वा सुरेश्वरः
Pujayitva Tapaprita
पूजयित्वा ततः प्रीत
Amantrya Prayayau Gruham.
आमन्त्र्य प्रययौ गृहम्. Narad Muni continued. After Prahlad Maharaj, the king of the demons, heard these instructions from the saint, he understood the occupational duties of a perfect person, Paramahansa. Thus he duly worshipped the saint, took his permission, and then left for his own home.
After Prahlada Maharaja, the king of the demons, Asureshwara, heard about the path of the Paramahamsas. Paramahamsa Dharmam. This is Dharma. This is the duty of the Paramahamsa sannyasis. So Prahlad Maharaj then worshipped the saint, took his permission, and then left for his home. Then Prahlad Maharaj went back to his home. So characterization completed. So like that. So now the chapter completed. Now, any guess who is this Avaradut Brahmana? So, Jo Avadut Brahmana, till now he was speaking to Prahlad Maharaj, was instructing how one should prepare oneself to go back home, back to Godhead, achieve liberation at the fag end of one's life after entering into sannyas ashram. What kind of sannyas lifestyle one should follow, and if the body is not cooperating and health is not okay, then how one should prepare oneself to give up this body and attain liberation. All those things are mentioned. The Ashtanga yogi may forcefully raise the prana from Muladhara Chakra to Ajna Chakra and pierce into Brahmarandra and attain liberation. That is a different thing. But for a jnani, technically speaking, how they should prepare leaving this world, leaving this body, is being indicated till now. Now, who could be this Avadut Brahmana? Any guess?
This is he was Dattatreya, no?
Yes. Shashtam Atrerapatvam Apatyatvam Vrata Prapto Nusuyaya Anvikshikim Alarkaya Prahlada Dibya Uchivan. Being requested by Anasuya, the wife of Atri, the Lord became her son. This is explained in chapter 4.1, Canto 4, chapter 1. As Dattatreya, the sixth avatar, and taught knowledge of the soul. Anvikshaki means the knowledge of the soul. To whom? To Alarka. We don't know who is this Alarka. It may be coming some other place, but at least in the Bhagavatam we don't get his name. And his name is coming. But teaching Alarka, so many details that is not come. 11th canto, Alarka name comes 2 times. And Prahlada, 713 is teaching Prahlada. And others such as King Yadu. Srimad Bhagavatam, canto 11, chapter 7 to 9. The same Avadhuta Brahmana teaches King Yadu what he learned from the 24 Gurus. And their conversation is quoted by Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna talks about these 24 Gurus to Uddhava. So like that. The person with whom Prahlad Maharaj is speaking till now is Lord Dattatreya himself, who is very much famous in Maharashtra. So like that. So this is what is this chapter. So we are done with this chapter, and we'll move on to the next chapter. We will not discuss so much. Maybe we'll just briefly introduce this chapter and we'll stop here for today. And we will discuss this chapter in detail in the next week. So as I said in the beginning, since tomorrow is the festival, so all of you might be having other services and so many things and all. We'll end a little today's class early. So till now, we have been discussing about the 4 Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And among the 4 ashramas, first we discussed about Brahmacharya, then Vanaprastha, then Sannyasa, now finally Grahastha. Because the majority people are Grahasthas, that is kept at the end. So, in that way. So, this chapter, having described the three ashramas of renunciation, Narada Muni now he explains in 14th chapter the path of the householder engaged in worldly activities according to time and place. The 3 other people, Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi, they don't have any worldly duties. Brahmachari living in the Gurukul, Vanaprastha living in the forest, Sannyasi is traveling from village to village. So they don't have any worldly duties. They are actually minority in this world. The majority people are grahasthas. So they have so many things to do. So while doing so many things, how they should conduct themselves with a purpose of going back home back to God. By performing their daily activities in which consciousness they are qualified to go back home back to Godhead. So this is the question of Yudhishthira Maharaj, and the answer will be given by Narada Muni. So the answer we will discuss in the next class, and today we will discuss only the question. So what is the question? Because Yudhishthira Maharaj himself is a Grahastha. So you need to ask about how I, being a Grahastha, should conduct my daily activities. As a result of that, I can go back home back to Godhead finally. Sri Yudhishthira Uvacha
Shri Yudhishthir
Sri
Uvacha
Grahasthayetam Padavim
Grahastayetam Padavim
Vidina Ena Chanjasa
Vidhina Yena Chanjasa
Yaya Devarshe Bhuri
Yaya Devarishe Bruhi
Madrusho Gruhamudadhi.
Madrisho Grihamudhadhi. Maharaj Yudhishthir inquired from Narad Muni, O my lord, O great sage, kindly explain how we who are staying at home without knowledge of the goal of life may also easily attain liberation according to the instructions of the Vedas.
O great sage, O Devarshi Narada, please explain how we are staying at home without knowledge of the goal of life may also easily attain liberation according to the instructions of the Vedas. So, okay, till now you spoke about how Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi should conduct themselves. Now, please tell me how a Grahastha should conduct. Because we are busy with so many worldly activities, household activities. We don't think about Atma Jnana day in, day out. Because we live at home without the knowledge of the goal of life. Our goal of life is to attend to the needs of the family members, and prepare for the future. But we are not so much conscious of going back to Godhead every day in, day out. So then, with that intention, is asking, can one attain liberation? The result of the path of renunciation by the path of enjoyment. The path of enjoyment leads to birth and death. Because I am leading the path of enjoyment, the household order, which leads to birth and death. I die again, take birth because I am performing karma. As a result of that, I will take birth. With this Grihastha order, where one performs activities which generally avoid one birth and death, can one get liberation also? Is it possible? If it is yes, by doing what I can get liberation? Please tell me, I will try to follow. Like that. The king asked Narada to begin describing the path of enjoyment for a person qualified as a householder after having spoken of brahmachari, vanaprastha, and sannyasi life, all involved in renunciation. Basically, the king is asking, please tell me how a Gurasa should conduct himself in such a way he will attain liberation at the end of his life. So, this chapter contains 42 verses, and these are the topics. So, we will discuss about all these things in the next class next week. Okay. Any questions? Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
No question, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
And with Pranav, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Hare. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.